I apologize for being late again. The theme for the TheHORRORman's Slashback challenge this week was 80s slashers, and I got really excited because I was gonna pick Killer Party, which is my favorite horror movie, and it's super 80s. But then I started thinking, well, 80s slashers, that's a pretty broad category, so that would be the perfect opportunity to watch something that I've never seen before. So that's what I did, or at least that's what I intended to do. It turned out the movie I picked I had seen before, but I didn't really remember exactly what happened, so it was all good. I picked Evil Laugh from 1986. I picked this up at a resale shop just before Christmas, and it sounded interesting. It's written by, and I'm sure I'm going to say this wrong, Dominic Brascia from Friday the 13th Part 5, and also Stephen Baio, which is Scott Baio's brother. I hate that I'm identifying him that way. It was written by them and Dominic Brascia, who actually died in 2018. That's sad. But he directed it, and Stephen Baio was one of the stars. It's about a group of medical students, one of them who looks like a grown-up version of Draco Malfoy. He buys this house that was the site of an orphanage years before, and the site of a mass murder at that orphanage, and he wants to reopen it as an orphanage, and so he invites a bunch of his friends up for the weekend to help him clean it up and fix it up, and so they all come up there, but you know, some of them are there for other reasons, but they are not alone, and you know, it's a slasher movie, so they start getting picked off one by one. From what I heard, it was shot in a week, shot on 16mm and transferred to video. They were both first-time filmmakers. They had met in acting class or something. And it does have a very 80s TV show vibe to it. Like, it gives me genuine 80s vibes. Like, I could be watching 8 is Enough right now. If it really was shot in a week, that is impressive. And of course, they didn't have a whole lot of money. They did say they had to go back and reshoot some stuff. Like, there weren't enough kills in the beginning, and they had to shoot another ending. I didn't think most of the characters were super likable, but they are, you know, kind of fleshed out. There's a lot of building stuff up, and they're kind of stereotypical, but some of them were fun. For example, this is how rich people dressed in the 80s. This is, I guess, the stud. I thought Stephen Baio's character would have been the popular one. Like, when they're first introduced, they're both shirtless because they were changing a tire. But he kind of ends up being a little awkward, so I like that. This guy is a prankster. He's also a fan of horror movies. They do make reference to some horror movies, and he's got a Fangoria magazine with Friday the 13th Part 5 on the cover, obviously referencing Dominic Brascia, or whatever his name is, I don't know. The cops were fun. The real estate guy. The first part was kind of slow, but I enjoyed the last part. I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing, but the first part was kind of slow. It has some pretty decent kills in it. I mean, some of the early ones aren't that impressive, but then it starts getting a little more with the special effects. Some of them are funny, some of them are just, I don't know. I didn't guess the killer, but I feel like I should have, and I don't know what kind of mask the killer is wearing. So I tried to look it up, and all I could come up with was some kind of diving mask, but it doesn't look like any kind of diving mask that I've seen. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but weird looking. Not the best looking killer. I mean, it's kind of goofy looking, but I don't know. I'm kind of goofy looking. And I didn't really care too much for the music. There's some not great pop music, and there's this cleaning dance montage with some of the whitest dancing I've ever seen. And I was listening to some of the commentary, and like they had a choice between two singers, and one of them was Sheryl Crow, and they went with the other girl. I mean, not that she's bad, it's just I feel like this is one of those movies that would probably grow on me with multiple viewings. It's not great, but it's not bad. I'm gonna rate this 7 Rocky Mountain oysters out of 10. Be sure and check out the Horror Man's channel and see what he's got cooked up for next week. Yeah, cheers, thanks a lot.